The uploader, who goes by the username Miss Laura B, was apparently in the middle of fixing up an old house in Toronto, Canada. The old house had been empty for a long time, and as Laura was renovating it, her neighbours warned her that it's haunted. According to the locals, the ghost of a young girl had been seen wandering around the property. But Laura doesn't let these scary stories put her off, and one night she enters the old house hoping to record the work that still needs to be completed before she can move in. The house doesn't have any power, so she decides to film everything on a night vision camera, and what she captured on camera made her blood turn cold.
So we are September 18th, 2006. We are officially 18 days behind schedule. These guys have been working for 6 months and I have no idea what they've been doing. Our renovation is not gone to any schedule. I mean, they're still drywall these guys haven't hung. I don't know what the hell they've been doing. Oh, there's even more damage. Like now things are peeling off the walls. Everything up here, I mean, it's just disgusting. I don't know what's going on. Look at, there's holes in the walls up here. It's just, oh Jesus.
A ghostly figure of what looks like a girl can be seen at the top of the stairs before it slips away out of sight. Laura is taken completely by surprise and immediately flees from the house in terror. It can be hard to see at first, but when we slow the footage down, the figure does something extremely creepy. It appears to wave at Laura before it disappears out of view. Viewers think that this is the ghost that Laura's new neighbours warned her about. Some even speculate that the ghost was waving to Laura to follow her. But what's your verdict? Is this a ghost? Let me know. Every night at 3 AM, social media user Capricorn Warrior startles awake. She looks around, heart racing, but she never finds anything that can explain her suddenly waking up. She gets out of bed and looks around the house, but again, she finds nothing. However, one night, Capricorn Warrior has an idea. A few years ago, she installed security cameras around her home, so she checks the footage to see if she can see anything. What she sees in the footage chills her to her core.
Can someone tell me what this is? This is my security camera, okay? Now, you can see me over here in the white nightgown, facing the window. What is that keeps being seen in my security camera? Does anyone know what that looks like or what that could be? That keeps showing up behind me in my security camera. This is about the 3rd time it has shown up. I've checked the security cameras over and over again, and it only shows up behind me. It is not showing up behind anyone else. And of course you can see it's my security camera because I've got right here is the line of the camera. And this is the full size of the photo. Now, this is me over here in the white gown facing the window again. What is that shadow that keeps coming up behind me? My security camera is catching it every time.
What looks like a tall, dark figure can be seen behind Capricorn Warrior. So far, she says she has caught it on the security camera 3 or 4 times, but she has no idea what it could be. However, TikTok viewers have several ideas. Some say it's a protecting angel, whereas others suggest it's a demon. So, what do you think? Is this an angel or a demon? Or something else? Use the comments to share your thoughts. This next series of clips was shared to social media by Rabioso, who claims to have caught a ghost on camera. Rabioso is walking home from work one night when he spots something near his house that doesn't look right. Freaked out, he starts recording and goes to investigate.
Estoy llegando a mi casa. Y ven el árbol, ven allá. ¿Lo ven? Acá. Ahí en el medio. Hay como una figura oscura. Me llamó muchísimo la atención de la cuadra anterior que lo veía. A ver, vamos acá. Mi casa está acá a la vuelta. No hay nada. No sé.
Rabioso says he can see a dark figure by one of the trees near his house, a figure that appears to be phasing in and out of view. However, when he checks around the tree, there's nothing there, just empty space, as if whatever Rabioso saw has vanished into thin air. The very next night, Rabioso is relaxing at home when he's suddenly disturbed by some unsettling noises coming from outside. At first, he tries to ignore them, hoping they'll stop, but they just keep going. Eventually, Rabioso decides to take a look, and what happens next sends him running back inside in terror.
Estoy sintiendo hace un rato ruido acá atrás. No sé qué mierda es. Esto es re oscuro acá. Hey, hola. Hey. Concha de tu madre. ¿Qué carajo es eso? Una sombra ahí. Veo cosas por todos lados. Este es un cuarto, la casa de acá atrás es como un cuarto que guardamos cosas, pero estoy sintiendo como un golpeteo. Bueno, no nada. Ey, puta madre. Todo el tiempo ruido. No.
Mysterious voices can be heard, as if people we can't see are standing right next to Rabioso. Creeped out, he runs back inside. In this next clip, Rabioso hears sounds coming from his daughter's room, but she's not at home. He quickly goes inside to see what's going on, and then things take an even creepier turn.
¿Se escucha el ruido? Acá está la habitación de mi hija. Ey. Uy, se siente re fría esta habitación. ¿Qué carajo? El ruido viene de acá adentro, me parece. La concha de tu madre. Otra vez, ¿ves? Ruido acá adentro. ¿Qué onda?
As soon as Rabioso steps inside his daughter's bedroom, a bone-chilling wave of cold washes over him. Then, a series of creepy noises can be heard, including heavy breathing and crying. A ball is even thrown off the bed, narrowly missing Rabioso, who quickly darts out of its way. Towards the end of the clip, it seems as if the noises are coming from inside the wardrobe. But when Rabioso opens it up, he finds only his daughter's toys. And one of them starts playing a haunting tune, mysteriously all on its own. Soon, he begins to hear the sound of heavy rain outside, which adds to the creepy atmosphere, and noises begin to echo down the hall from other rooms in the house. Rabioso keeps recording and goes to check it out. The strange noises follow him around the house, eventually leading him back to his daughter's bedroom. But once again, all he finds is one of his daughter's toys in the wardrobe. Then suddenly, a terrifying gasp startles him, and the footage ends there. For a few nights after this, the activity seems to calm down, but then things get a whole lot worse. After getting home from work late one night, Rabioso hears noises coming from his daughter's bedroom again. What he captures on camera has left viewers terrified.
Yo había apagado la luz ahí. Oh, esto me da muchísimo miedo.
The door handle begins to rattle violently before it is suddenly yanked open, but there's no one on the other side. It scares him so badly, he decides to leave the house in the middle of the night to stay with a friend. But just as he gets outside, this happens.
Yo no sé si... Oh, esa es Sansa, pero... Esa mi perra tiene un cono, pero... A ver si escucha algo raro,
Something manifests itself out of the darkness. Something that resembles a face. Rabioso believes that this is what he saw behind the tree, and that it followed him home. He says it's haunting him and has no idea how to get rid of it. So, what would you do in Rabioso's situation? Let me know. In paranormal folklore, a mimic is a malicious spirit that imitates a person, often someone we love or trust, in order to trick us. Many people claim to have heard the voices of family members, especially when they are alone in their house. The primary goal for a mimic is to instill fear and unease so they can feed off our energy. Social media user EmilyDell21 uploaded a video in March this year, and viewers are convinced that a mimic was trying to get into her home. Something can be heard scratching against Emma's door. A faint voice can be heard calling out, saying, "I know you're in there." Thankfully, Emma keeps the door locked and doesn't try to communicate with whatever is out there. If she had, viewers say a mimic could have been let into her home and would have haunted her for the rest of her life. However, despite not engaging with the thing outside, Emma hears scratching on her door again the very next day.
Are you there? Let me in!
And this is why I can't call the cops, because when I go to look, there's no one there. I know it's hard to see, but I'm not opening the door. But there's like no one out there. And like, this is a window. There's no people, but this is a window, and you can't really see out there. It's hard to see out. So I don't know what the hell is going on.
This time, the scratching is even more insistent, and the voice is louder, demanding to be let inside. Emma still does not open the door, and even shows that there's no one outside. She does her best to ignore the unsettling noises, and a few days later, shares a video to explain what she thinks is going on.
A lot of people are telling me to call the police. I can't do that because as I've seen, there is nothing there ever. I have actually been dealing with this type of stuff since I was very young. This specific video, my mom used to tell me all the time that I would tell her I was talking to people in my room, that I heard people outside of my door and they were talking to me. I personally don't really remember it because I was pretty young. Again, it hasn't happened to me in a long time, like since I was that young. But it did start happening recently. That video was it happened a couple times before that, so I'm honestly just kind of used to it at this point, I guess. Oh, some people ask me if there are scratches on the outside of the door. There are not.
Emma explains that she believes paranormal energy has always surrounded her, even when she was young. So, could Emma have inadvertently attracted a mimic? And what might have happened if she had opened the door?
Are you there? Let me in!
This next eerie video was uploaded by Mrs. Tennyson to you, who titled it "Creepy Ghost While My Client is Sleeping." And well, it could be. Mrs. Tennyson works as an in-home nurse for the elderly. One of her patients is an elderly woman who she visits nightly and reportedly talks in her sleep, but not just murmurs or mumbling. Her patient speaks as if someone is there with her. One night, strange noises from the bedroom drew the nurse's attention. She went to check and found the woman fast asleep, but something about the room felt off. From that night on, the nurse started monitoring the room more closely using the home security cameras, and a few nights later, the strange noises returned. This time, she stayed glued to the monitor, and what she saw spooked her beyond words.
Every night I'm at work, I be thinking I'm tripping. But you gotta watch this video, y'all. You see that move under the bed? Like, I know for a fact it's close to my client's house. I be seeing, you see it keep moving like right there under the bed? It's moving back and forth. You see it? It's ghost in my client's house. Look under her bed. It'll come out and go back. Now she in bed sleep. She ain't moved an ounce. But do you see how it keep coming out, going back in? This is no joke.
Something mist-like moves near the bed, low to the floor, sliding in and out from underneath the woman's bed. But just what on earth is it? It's worth noting that apparently the elderly woman lives completely alone. What's more is that the nurse mentions that the elderly woman often speaks softly at night, as if she's having a quiet conversation with someone. But when asked about it the next day, the elderly woman never remembers a thing. So, what is this mysterious thing appearing in and out from underneath this elderly woman's bed? Let me know. This next clip was uploaded to the internet by the ghost hunting group Fearful Encounters. The group venture out to the Old South Pittsburgh Hospital, a former medical facility in Tennessee that closed its doors in the late 1990s. Since then, it's gained a notorious reputation for intense paranormal activity, including unexplained voices, shadow figures, and physical encounters. Not long into their investigation, they capture someone or something on camera. As the camera pans round the hallway, all seems fine. However, when they pan back the other way just a second later, a mysterious, tall, dark figure can be seen standing motionless in the centre of the corridor. But what is it? The tall man is believed to be one of the more powerful entities lingering in the building, and viewers of this video agree that this dark figure is just that. Many other commenters also mention their experiences with the so-called tall man. But is this really him? You tell me. Late one night, a woman named Daria was at home with her husband and their 3-year-old daughter. Everyone was asleep, and the house was still. But just after 3 AM, Daria's phone lit up with a motion alert from her home security system. Something had triggered the living room camera. She opened the app, expecting maybe her pet or a flicker of light. Instead, she saw this. The face of someone or something can be seen peeking out from behind the wall. According to Daria, no one was awake at the time, and apparently, the hallway leads to the bedroom where Daria, her partner, and her daughter were fast asleep. This next footage was captured on a family CCTV camera overlooking their backyard pool. Late one evening, after putting their kids to bed, the mother and father step outside to relax under the stars. What happens next is a complete mystery. As the couple sit by the pool, the lights suddenly cut out. They both look spooked, and then, just seconds later, the mother vanishes into thin air. The man jumps up, clearly panicked, looking around like he's trying to process what just happened. But there's no sign of her anywhere. This video has been shared across forums and social media, with some viewers calling it one of the strangest disappearances they've seen. And while some write it off as a hoax, others believe this could be far more disturbing: an abduction. An abduction. Mirrors are sometimes said to be portals to other dimensions. In this next video, a man who apparently lives in a haunted house claims to see ghosts in his bedroom mirror. The mirror came with the house, and at first, the man thought it looked good, so he decided to keep it. But then one night, he records this.
não, 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 não é possível. Que isso?
A figure can be seen in the reflection of the mirror. Even as the poster shines light towards it, illuminating the creepy figure, it just stands there, staring right at him. But as the person recording looks around the room, there's no one there. Creepiest of all, he says he lives alone. So, just who or what is this? This next clip was shared to an Indonesian social media site and shows what should have been an innocent cooking video. But as the poster, a young woman, flips the camera around to record herself, she gets the fright of her life when she sees something behind her. This is what she saw.
Wow, masih di sana dikit dan bakso. So yummy. So, kita langsung aja ambil mangkok.
A dark figure with long black hair can be seen peeking out from the top of the stairs. It briefly disappears behind the wall, only to reappear a second later, seeming to walk slowly towards the young woman, who gasps in terror. Now, the origins of this video are a little mysterious, since it was originally posted to an Indonesian social media site. I haven't been able to track down its original source, so if any of you know who this young woman is and what happened to her after she stopped recording, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, this one will remain a mystery. Sometimes it starts with something so small, you almost convince yourself it's nothing. A shadow, a flicker, a shape that doesn't belong. That's exactly what this next man thought when he noticed something strange on his bedroom curtain. At first, he thought it was just the way the light was hitting the fabric, but the longer he looked, the more certain he became something was there. Pressed against the curtain, a tall, human-shaped shadow looms. But here's where things get weird. The man lives on the 3rd floor. There's no balcony, no ledge, and no possible way for anyone to be standing out there. So, how is this even possible? He says that this was the first time he saw anything like it, but after that night, strange things started happening almost every night now, at exactly the same time, at 3 AM, also known as witching hour. He hears something tapping on that same window, but whenever he goes to check, no one's ever there. Just the sounds of tap, tap, tap. The Hotel del Coronado in San Diego is well known for its haunted history. Guests and staff at the hotel have reported a lot of paranormal activity, including flickering lights, disembodied voices, and objects moving on their own. There are also stories about a woman called Kate Morgan who passed away inside the hotel back in 1892. Many believe that Kate's ghost remains at the hotel, particularly in room 3327, where she stayed. In March 2024, brother and sister ghost hunters Josh and Crystal take a trip to the Hotel del Coronado to see if all the creepy rumours are true. They book themselves into room 3327, but when they arrive, they're told the room isn't available. The hotel receptionist offers to move them to a room called the Maid's Quarters, which is said to be even more haunted. Josh and Crystal are disappointed, but agree to the move. That night, nothing happens, but the next morning, just before they're due to check out, this happens.
It's okay. I can see you. Come to me. Are you a little boy? It's okay. Come here. It's okay. I don't know if my eyes are playing tricks on me, but it looks like it's going like back and forth. You see a movie? See a movie?
No.
It's okay.
No, wait.
It's
Come
okay.
back. Come back.
Where?
No, you come back. Go straight. Look straight. Towards me. No. Turn towards me like you were earlier. Put your back.
A shadow can be seen on the wall. Crystal can't explain why, but she senses that the shadow is cast by the ghost of a little boy. She calls to him, telling him it's alright, but the shadow remains in place. That is, until the shadow of what is clearly a small child runs past. The sight of it freaks Josh out so much that he lets out a startled grasp and stops recording. He would later say that just before the appearance of the shadow, objects around the room began moving all on their own, including a bottle of holy water he brought with him. Perhaps the Hotel del Coronado really is as haunted as people say. Floating quietly in the San Francisco Bay, the USS Hornet carries more than just history. Commissioned during World War II, this massive aircraft carrier played key roles in both naval combat and the recovery of Apollo space missions. It's also known by another name, the Grey Ghost, not just for how it moved in silence during wartime, but because some say it still isn't empty. Over the years, hundreds of reports have emerged from visitors and staff, claims of footsteps echoing through the corridors, tools moving on their own, and ghostly figures seen in the dim light below deck. But one group may have captured more than just stories. Ghost hunters from the paranormal investigation team, Broken Wings Paranormal, spent a night on the Hornet to see if the rumours were true, and what they captured has left viewers stunned.
Hear that? Over here.
See, I think I might be walking behind us because all of a sudden, like, I'm super itchy.
What the It literally felt like something grabbed my pant leg.
As I was saying, I felt super itchy, like something's walking behind us.
Only moments into their investigation, Susie suddenly yelps. She says something tugged on her leg, like a hand trying to get her attention. But the most unsettling moment was yet to come. The paranormal investigators set up a static night vision camera pointing down one of the ship's corridors, hoping to capture paranormal evidence on camera while they were elsewhere. This is what their static night vision camera caught. A dark figure appears at the end of the corridor before fading away out of sight. After seeing this footage, viewers of this video believe that this is a full-bodied apparition, and Broken Wings Paranormal, they labelled it as a dark, misty figure. But what do you think this is? Let me know. A young couple recently bought their dream home and have been documenting their renovation projects on their social media, GBTV. The house dates back to the 1920s and contains a lot of historical surprises, but not all of them are pleasant. Shortly after moving in, they find a hidden room which contains an antique Bible, and if that isn't creepy enough, in the footage you're about to see, the couple notices a hatch in the ceiling that leads to an attic. They decide to take a look and discover something very disturbing amongst the dust and darkness.
We had to open it.
Curious, they open it up to see what's inside.
Its contents are a bit disturbing.
The couple are freaked out by their discovery, but now they're even more curious about what else they might find in the attic. Taking a look around, they notice a few items have been stuffed into the cracks of the walls.
believe what we found now. A photo was pushed behind the shawl. Is this the family who lived here before us? The children all have a strange look in their eyes.
After finding an old mirror, the couple discovers an old photograph was hidden behind an old shawl, shoved into a crack, as if whoever put it there wanted it to stay hidden. And the scariest thing, one of the men in the photograph has his eyes blacked out. The couple ask themselves, is this a photo of the family who originally owned the house? And why would the man in the photo have his eyes blacked out? But the more the couple investigated the mysteries of the house, the more chilling details they would uncover. A few nights later, they decide to do some renovations in the attic when they come across something else, something that maybe should have stayed hidden.
I was only trying to fill the gaps in the wall with insulation. But this story keeps getting darker. It looks old. And there's writing carved into the lid. It's locked. I wonder if there's a key.
An old box was hidden behind the bricks of a wall. Disturbingly, writing is carved onto its lid, written in Welsh, but translated to English, it reads, "Do not release." We can also see a pentagram scratched into the box's side, a symbol that is said to protect against evil. However, the couple does not heed the warning.
Really strange objects were inside. Like this small pendant necklace. What looks like a burnt piece from a Ouija board. It's covered in wax. A second key. And this lock of hair.
Despite the cryptic warning, they open the box. Inside, they find a silver necklace, a burned piece from a Ouija board, a lock of hair, and a mysterious key. Several viewers warned the couple to stop investigating this mystery, speculating that a malevolent spirit was contained within the box, and it has now been released. However, the couple continued. Since they found the key, they believe there's another box hidden somewhere in the attic, and eventually find one hidden underneath the floorboards, and decide to open it.
This was hidden under our floorboards. A black box, completely covered in wax. The edges are sealed, and something stuck in the lid. Don't hate me, but I needed to know what was inside. It fits, but the hole is full of wax. I had to melt it. It still wouldn't turn, so I had to upgrade the tools and break it open. The realtors definitely didn't mention this in the advert. We're a bit concerned about who used to live here. Apparently the writing marked on the lid translates to "Don't let her speak."
The box springs open to reveal an old Ouija board and another Welsh message scratched into the lid. In English, it reads, "Don't let her speak." Viewers were incredibly creeped out by these clips, with many warning the couple that they had inadvertently opened a dybbuk box. In Jewish folklore, these boxes are used to trap demons. If that's really what the couple found, then they just released a demon into their home. But what does this have to do with all the items they found? Several viewers think that someone who used to live in the house a long time ago practiced witchcraft or dark magic. But what do you think? Let me know down below. The couple, who share their findings on the account GBTV, have just posted another update, and this one might be the darkest yet. Still uneasy from the previous events, the couple decided to continue with their renovations, trying to ignore what they'd already uncovered. But while working near the fireplace, they stumbled across something they weren't prepared for.
Our chimney hasn't been used in over 100 years. But there's something lodged halfway up. Let me explain. So me and Georgia decided to replace this broken gas fireplace. We wanted to expose the original brick. I was checking the rear of the mantle, and that's when I saw it. I couldn't reach it, so I had to get up into the chimney. There's definitely something inside.
Tucked inside the chimney, wedged deep between the bricks, they discover another old dusty box, as if someone had deliberately hidden it, not just out of sight, but out of reach. And judging by what they would soon find inside, maybe that's exactly what someone was trying to do.
What looks like crystals, an old postcard, and a letter stamped from 1940s Thailand with our address on the front. The letter is written in what looks like Thai, but there are 2 old British coins in the envelope. We can't figure out why it's all together, but we sent a picture of the letter to our Thai friend, and her mother translated.
Several strange and deeply unsettling items are found. Crystal-like stones, a letter written in Thai, a faded photograph, and what looks like old British coins. Everything about it felt wrong. Like these weren't just discarded keepsakes, but objects tied to something far more sinister. And that suspicion would only grow stronger with what they did next.
16 million watched as we broke this mirror. Now we have to leave the country. I know it's confusing. I'll explain. During our renovation, we discovered this box in our attic. And these old letters sent from Bangkok explain where the box came from. I know we could probably track down the sender online, but that's too boring. So Bangkok, here we come. The letter was sent 82 years ago. But according to Google, the same family still run the market stalls. Now let's find out who sent the letter and sold them the box. Hope they don't mind visitors.
Unable to make sense of the letter, the couple made a bold, and some might say reckless, decision. They booked flights to Thailand. Their goal? To try and track down the sender of the letter, or at least someone connected to it. But what they didn't realise was that this journey would mark the beginning of something much darker.
Let me explain. So as you all know, we found this box in our attic. Old letters explained that it was bought in Bangkok. We jumped on a plane to find the address on the letter and made our way into the city. Some locals helped us find the address at the banks of the river. We came across these old antique-style shacks, but nobody seemed to be around. Something didn't feel right about this place.
Arriving in Bangkok, they headed to a riverside market, the last known location mentioned in the clues they uncovered, but the atmosphere there felt wrong. Empty corridors, a heavy air, like something unseen was watching them. And then, in a store, they find a man and show him the box. At first, he seems confused, as if he doesn't recognize anything about it, but the moment they pull out the letter, his face drops. The man refuses to speak further. His demeanor turns cold. He tells them to leave. It's clear he knows what this box is, and he doesn't want to be anywhere near it. This is when the couple begin to feel they may have made a terrible mistake, one they can't undo, and as they exit the market, things took an even darker turn.
We got out of there as quickly as we could, but noticed a truck following us. We thought we lost them, but they pulled up beside and tried to grab us. Since this, people have attempted to mug us twice, and we've both come down with a fever.
As the couple flee the scene, a truck follows them. At the lights, the truck pulls up beside them and the occupants try to grab the couple. The couple run for their lives, and when they get back to their hotel, they both start feeling sick, and in their own words, both came down with a fever. They decide it's not safe for them in Thailand and return home shaken. Whatever they had uncovered, they were now certain it was dangerous. They saged the house and tried to push forward with the renovation, but the strange noises, the feelings of being watched from the attic, didn't stop. If anything, they became worse. So they went back up, this time with an EMF detector, and that's when they realized something was still there. The final straw came soon after. Convinced the box was the source of their torment, they made a last-ditch effort to get rid of it, burning it, along with everything inside. But if horror stories have taught us anything, destroying a cursed object doesn't always make things better. In fact, in many cases, it makes them worse. And on the lid of one of the original boxes, if you remember from my previous feature of GBTV, the words were clear: do not release. And well, it's probably too late for that now, but what exactly did they unleash, and how much darkness can really be bound to a box? Let me know your thoughts down below. This next entry was posted to the YouTube channel David Rabordau. The video was recorded back in 2014 after David and his girlfriend started hearing creepy sounds coming from their attic. Creeped out, they decide to go up and check it out.
Então é assim, eu estou a filmar, eu estou farta de ouvir barulhos. Já há alguns dias que ando a ouvir barulhos e não consigo nunca perceber de onde é que eles vêm. Eu estou-me a passar porque eu não consigo dormir, eu estou cheia de medo e eu decidi hoje filmar isto porque eu tenho a certeza que se passa alguma coisa e se acontecer alguma coisa vai ficar gravado. Opa! Opa! Oh, Nuno! Desculpa. Opa! Opa! Porquê que abriste isso? Opa, ainda por cima não foste tu que apagaste a luz. Desculpa. Vais fazer, tu vais lá acima sozinho. Eu vou lá contigo. Opa, tenha cuidado. Opa! Opa! Não, tu não vais lá sozinho. Ai. Opa, olha, vai lá tu, toma. Toma, eu fico aqui, desculpa, não consigo, desculpa. Desculpa, eu estou cheia de medo, a sério, vai lá tu, mas tem cuidado, tá bem? Olha aí, olha que estás a ouvir.
Espera.
Tem cuidado, vai falando comigo, falas.
Está-se bem. Calma. Estás bem?
Oh, não vá lá, está tudo escuro aqui
Calma.
abaixo, despacha-te.
Pá, não vejo nada. Aqui me parece. Não sei. Estás bem aí, Joana? Caraca, o que é isto, meu? Não, nada, está tudo bem, está tudo bem.
Estás bem?
Estou bem.
Olha para baixo, esquece.
É?
Chamamos a polícia, esquece, anda para baixo.
Chamamos nada à polícia. Não se vê nada aqui, meu.
Anda para baixo, esquece, fica de uma coisa, anda lá. Anda lá, eu estou aqui à tua espera, eu vou ter que dar a descer.
Fónix. O que é aquilo? Espera. Espera aí. Não. Estou, cara.
Anda lá, vá. Não estou para ninguém, anda lá. Anda lá, por favor, eu tenho que estar aqui sozinha, anda lá. Eu vou ter que estar aqui, anda lá. Anda lá, anda. Eu ajudo. Peraí, cuidado. Olha. Peraí, eu ajudo a descer. O que é que tu viste? Olha, mas fecha isso. Fecha isso. Mas não viste alguma coisa? O que é que tem acontecido?
Just as David and his girlfriend close the attic, something appears. But the creepiest thing, neither of them see it. Now, this clip has been shared before. Some say it's fake, while others believe that something sinister was lurking in David's attic. But what are your thoughts on this clip? Is this something evil, or did David fake the whole thing for views? You tell me. Late one night, a young woman had just parked her car outside her house when she noticed something strange moving across the street. At first, she thought it might just be her imagination, but then it moved again. Curious and nervous, she stepped out the car for a better look. That's when she saw it. A dark figure standing across the road. Terrified, she jumped back in the car, locked the doors, and started filming.
I understand this is probably going to sound insane or look like a blur to you, but I was crying. I watched this thing move across in my rearview mirror when I was driving back of my car to the front. I could see it from outside and in the mirror. Got out of my car, like staring at me, but if I looked away, I couldn't find it until it was closer. I have never felt fear like this. The hair on my arms was standing up. I was crying on the phone with my mom, waiting for my stepdad to come over because I couldn't believe this is what I really saw.
In the distance, in the car's side mirror, a shadowy figure can be seen, and whatever it is, doesn't move. The woman was so shaken by what she saw, she later shared the video on social media. Some people said it was nothing, just a trick of the light, or maybe a shadow cast from something like a statue or a tree. But the next day, she went back outside and tried to recreate what she had seen.
I'm going to take you outside so that you can see the location of where this was. So this is directly outside of my house. This is going to be where the car is parked and exactly like where everything is. As you can see, there's literally nothing. And here is from the angle of the car. This is from directly around. There's nothing that would have cast a shadow. So I just found out that my neighbor has been experiencing something weird. I completely forgot until my boyfriend reminded me. Her side door has been opened repeatedly throughout the last week, and that door does not have a key. It can only be opened from the inside. She keeps coming home, or her friend comes home. There's nothing missing, but the door is wide open. Nobody is able to unlock it except for them from the inside. She just called me to tell me about it.
So, what exactly did this woman see that night? She thought she was the only one experiencing something strange. But if her neighbour is right, then whatever it was, wasn't just watching her. The following recording was captured after a man saw something while walking home late at night. After finishing work later than expected, he decides to take a shortcut. The only problem is, the road he chooses is said to be haunted by something terrifying. Locals in Bali say a spirit roams this area, a spirit known as the Kuntilanak. According to legend, if you see her, it's already too late. She's said to lure people in with her appearance, then either possess them or worse. Still, not wanting to worry his family, the man takes the shortcut, and maybe he shouldn't have. As he walks the path, he notices something ahead. He zooms in, and what appears to be a white figure is standing there at the end of the road, completely still. Some say it's just a trick of the light, but others who live nearby claim they've seen the same thing. A woman in white, always standing in the same place, watching. The Kuntilanak is a well-known legend in Indonesia, especially in Bali and Java. She's been blamed for possessions, mysterious illnesses, and disappearances, and is almost always seen just before something bad happens. Maybe it was nothing, or maybe he saw a Kuntilanak. This next series of clips was shared by a man called Mike. Mike lives in Bergen, Norway, and recently moved into a new apartment. At first, Mike was excited to be in a new place, but the excitement soon turned into dread. You see, Mike believes his new home is haunted, and in January this year, he uploaded this video to his social media, and it left his viewers creeped out.
Próbuję zasnąć, teraz co chwilę coś mi w okno puka, balkonowa. No nie, dole. Dole. Nic tutaj nie ma. Mam już tego dosyć. Mam już tego dosyć. Nie mam mać! Nie, nie
The sounds of knocking on the balcony door can be heard, but when Mike gets up to check, there's nothing out there. But this was just the start of what would quickly become a waking nightmare. 2 nights later, Mike uploads another creepy video to his social media. Again, mysterious knocking can be heard, but this time it's coming from inside Mike's apartment. It seems that whatever was knocking on the balcony door has now found a way into his home. Growing more and more afraid as each unsettling night passes, Mike goes out and buys some paranormal investigation equipment. In this next clip, you'll see Mike use an EMF reader, attempting to make contact with whatever it is that's causing the disturbances in his apartment.
Próbuję się skupić na rysowaniu, ale Znowu coś się dzieje. Świeczki przed chwilą spadły. Coś stukało. Już jestem zmęczony tym wszystkim. No nie, no. Nie. Dobra, jeszcze sprawdzę, ale nic się nie dzieje teraz. Kurwa. Nie wiem.
A candle can be seen being thrown by something we can't see, and the knocking starts again. For whatever reason, Mike's EMF reader doesn't pick up any signs of paranormal activity, but that doesn't mean there's nothing there. Many viewers think Mike could be dealing with a poltergeist, and in this final clip, Mike may inadvertently be welcoming more paranormal entities into his home.
Kurwa, 24 dochodzi. Kogoś chyba popierdoliło. Zaraz kurwa żałujesz, typeczku. Chyba wybrałeś złe drzwi. Frajerze, kur... Ty... Ja pierdolę, nie. Masakra, kurwa, nie wierzę. Nie, zostawię zapalone. O kurwa.
Frustrated by the constantly ringing doorbell, Mike opens the front door, but his viewers say this is the last thing he should have done. Some viewers think that the poltergeist that's already taken up residence in Mike's apartment could be attracting other spirits, which Mike accidentally let in when he opened the door. But what do you think is going on here? Is Mike really living in a haunted apartment, as he claims on social media? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. A few days before Christmas, social media user Takina was attending an early morning mass at her local church in the Philippines. It's just after 4 AM, but the church is full of people, forcing Takina to take one of the only available seats, which is outside of the building. Suddenly, she spots something on the other side of the fence. Now, Takina is a skeptic, but her viewers think that she might have accidentally caught a ghost on camera. But what's your verdict? Is this a ghost? Drop a comment with your thoughts. Thanks so much for watching. If you're up for more scary videos, check out one of these next. You're gonna love them. Oh, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.